It's 60 years. Who would believe 60 years, you know?
Building looks good.
Yeah. I mean, whoever would have thought 60 years?
This is where it all began, right here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, 60 years ago. Mr. Bishop, affectionately known as Big Daddy, was a brick mason by trade and wanted to find a better way to provide for his family, so he built a neighborhood cafe on the hillside beside his home, with the focus being the pit, since he was the brick mason. And like a lot of neighborhood cafes, he started out selling hamburgers, hot dogs, ribs, postage stamps, candy. And at the end of the day, he had other items left over, but the ribs were the best seller. So in true entrepreneurial spirit, he started just selling ribs. The longevity is just focusing on what you do and do it the best every day. And then just staying true to your cooking processes. Mr. Bishop cooked the ribs on a hickory-fired open pit, and we still cook that way today.
So my mom, she didn't like to take pictures. I gotta give her credit. She was the main woman behind Dreamland. She was the main cook. He cooked later. Everybody's thinking he just picture, like Big Al was for Alabama. You know, but she was the brain. He was the laborer.
She was the brains and she was the cook, because Daddy couldn't cook. Daddy was supposed to be cooking on this pit right here, right? And we would be hollering, Daddy, when the ribs come down, we getting bagged up. Daddy, when the ribs coming out? And the next thing we know, we go in there, ain't no ribs on the pit. Dad done burn them all, done throw them in the fire. He couldn't cook at all. He couldn't. She taught, but my mother taught all of us how to cook. The best thing about my father was you could not bring the black and white thing in the restaurant. He didn't play that. Because he will stop you in a minute and tell you everybody in here green, ain't nobody in here black. And I was like, why do you say they're green? He said, because they gonna pay. It's money. They gonna pay.
In 4th grade, I did a project on people in Alabama, and I picked John Bishop. It was a Alabama history project, and you had to pick a person. And the list only had like 10 people, so I thought outside of the box on people that were famous in Alabama. So we searched a website that had famous people, and I saw Mr. Bishop, and my teacher thought that was a cool idea, so she let me be him. My favorite food here is the ribs, because they're just the best thing.
I think he would be very proud that we've maintained the processes that he put in place, especially the way we cook our product and our focus on quality and how we serve the guests. But I think if he were here today, he would have a big smile on his face.
Dad always said he wanted Dreamland to be where if you had a child, you bring your child out here, start your child growing up in Dreamland. That's where he wanted to be. And people would get mad because their kids wanted to run around. Dad told them, leave them kids alone, they ain't bothering you. Let them run around. He wanted to be where everybody's family could grow up. You bring the next generation. He wanted to be generational, I should say. And I thought that was the coolest thing I had ever seen. For somebody that didn't know nothing or nothing like that, he was just really, he wanted to be a generational place, and that's what it turned out to be.
Nothing like them nowhere.